Hello and welcome. This is James Blanchard Cisneros at your service. Today I'll be reading the September 19th Daily Inspirational Message. It's a condensed version, 2 paragraphs long. Then I'll center myself, say a little prayer, and then make a couple comments on the message, and I trust it will assist both of us on our journeys. Okay, here we go. The title, Viewing This World Through Eternity's Eyes, paragraph 1. The ego has programmed us to view this world and those in it through its judgment-centered mindset. The ego uses the eyes to focus on the physical aspects of the body, what it looks like, says, and does, and constantly judges them as right or wrong. The ego calls judgment wisdom, and thus has taught us to believe that the more we can judge something or someone, the wiser we are. We have already seen and experienced the consequences of viewing the world and those in it through the ego's judgment-filled eyes more than enough times. This way of viewing the world has brought us nothing but frustration, anger, pain, resentment, regret, guilt, shame, and thoughts of revenge. If this is what seeing this world through the ego's eyes brings us, why do we keep supporting its so-called sight as real and true? Paragraph 2. Today, let us practice seeing this world and those in it through God's eyes, in alignment with the eternal in us. Let us overlook or forget the silly little games that a body plays within time and focus on the soul's eternal loving essence. Our brothers and sisters are not what they think, say, or do. They are God's eternal loving creations. God is perfection and only creates perfectly. When we see others as they were created to be, we see their perfect nature. Today, let us place our focus on the eternal sameness in each other. God sees in you only His perfect creation. In essence, seeing others through eternity's eyes is viewing them with compassion, mercy, peace, and grace. By choosing to see others through God's eyes, we finally get to see them as our Creator created them to be. All right. Viewing this world through eternity's eyes. Eternity is God, source, love. Okay, so what would it be like if we consciously dedicated one day to viewing this world only through God's lens, through God's eyes, through love's lens? What would such a day feel like? What would such a day feel like if we practice using love's expressions to only view this world? And so some of love's expressions are such things as non-judgment, understanding, forgiveness, compassion, mercy, grace, gratitude, peace. These are all reflections of love. And so if we're consciously choosing to see this world through love's lens, then those become our constant companions throughout the day. And so let us practice doing that today. No matter what the ego story is, let us practice using non-judgment and understanding. And we do so by practice trusting in the divine design. We use non-judgment and understanding because we know that they, our brothers and sisters, have co-created their journey with God, with perfection. And so their journey, no matter what it looks like to our ego, is perfect for them. And so if we trust that, If we practice trusting in the divine design, we get to use that, we get to feel that non-judgment, right? And we get to have that understanding because our trust is in the divine design. That they're doing exactly what they need to do to grow in whichever way they've chosen to grow. Then we can practice using forgiveness and compassion. And we do so because we know that everybody's doing the best they can with the physical, emotional, and spiritual tools they currently have available to them. And so that's why compassion and forgiveness becomes easy for us today. Because we know, no matter what the ego says, they're doing the best they can with the tools they have available to them at that time. When they have deeper self-awareness tools, they'll do better. But right now, whatever it is they're doing, it's okay. It's okay because that's the best they can do. That's the best they can react. That's the best they can act in that moment. Then we practice using mercy and grace. And again, we don't let ourselves fall into the ego's ditch of judgment and anger and resentment and guilt and shame and all that stuff. We don't let us, no matter what the ego story is, mercy and grace are our companions today. And so, no matter the ego story, we become the light inside that story. We become the light to those in the darkness. We help become an example to them through our light, through our non-judgment, through our mercy and grace, that there is a better way. There's a better way than what they are experiencing right now. There's a better way to be, a more loving way to be, a more peaceful and gentle way to be, a more gracious and graceful way to be. And we become that example. We lead people from hopelessness to hope, from feeling hurt to being healed. Simply by allowing them to see our example, how we, in each situation, no matter how dark the ego makes the story appear to be, we are that light. We become that light consciously choosing to be that light at the end of the ego's tunnel. And then we can use gratitude and peace. And gratitude, because why? Why should we be grateful? Because our brothers and sisters, through their actions, are helping us practice aligning with the mind of God. And so if their actions are helping us practice choosing love instead of fear, compassion instead of condemnation, then thank you. Because I'm no longer choosing to buy into the ego's story. I'm no longer choosing and falling into that quicksand. I'm now choosing along with the mind of God, along with non-judgment and understanding and forgiveness and compassion and mercy and grace and gratitude and peace. Now all those are me. And the more I practice doing so, the more I practice aligning with those energies and emotions, the more natural it begins to feel to do that. And the more right it begins to feel. And sorry, I'm fasting, so my lips are a little bit dry. You can forgive me. You can practice less than that way. And so they're just helping you practice. Practice remembering that you can choose the light over the darkness. And so let's be thankful to them. Because by doing so, we learn and we remember that it is we who have control over our minds. It is we who have control over our thoughts. Our thoughts, nor our programming, the ego's programming, has control over us. It is we, in the end, who decide how to react to any situation. And it's we who can decide to bring into the situation all the emotions that I discussed before, all the expressions of love. We can come with our backpack of love into the ego story and then start taking that off and offering it to our brothers and sisters and thanking them. And the more we do so, the more at peace we become, and the greater light we shine and are able to shine to our brothers and sisters through our examples. And so let us try that today. And excuse me for a second. Yes, viewing the world through eternity's eyes. Sometimes I forget. And so, yes. Well, wouldn't it be wonderful to just dedicate one day to just choosing in alignment with the mind of God? And then see how that feels. Does it feel good enough to try even 2 days? And so on and so forth. So let's try that today. And let this day become a starting point that helps us once again align with who God created us to be, which is the light of the world. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. I love you very much. If you can be so kind as to like, comment, or share this message, it would help with the listening process. And it may help somebody start to view this world through God's eyes, through eternity's eyes, through love's lens. Again, thank you for your time. I love you very much. And God willing, we'll see each other tomorrow. Peace.